Hello and welcome back to It's New. We got the Google Marketing Live news for you. Straight from Google Marketing Live. I was live. The rest were not live. Some people have better things to do than be at Google, I guess.
Anything.
We'll get into that conversation. So I think Anu's going to kick us off. We have some other things to talk about as well. So I'm going to be talking about why the AI tab is in its place that it's in, which is weird. And Mordy's going to be talking about AI content and how Google wants us to do that, I didn't like my intro. Anyway, I literally got like 30 minutes of sleep. I just took a red eye and I'm
so
all there.
So much compassion for you, Barry.
Yeah,
so much.
It's all good. Done it many, many times. All right. Anu, why don't you kick us off?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, yesterday was it shouldn't be Google Marketing Live anymore. It should be Google AI Live. It was AI, and ads in AI, and ads coming in AI overviews and AI mode. Why? Yeah, I know we've talked about this a lot about why there's AI overviews and AI mode. Why we can't just? Yeah, I agree with that as well. Because I'm very interested to see the ads that are going to be showing in AI overviews and AI modes, and whether they're going to be different, and whether we're going to be able to see the reportings out there.
We have one in the wild.
Oh, okay.
Brody Clark noticed it. I posted it at the bottom of the post, or towards the bottom. When I did the same search, I saw ads below the AI overviews. He saw them within the AI overviews for desktop.
Okay.
And I have a screenshot of that. I haven't seen examples of ads in AI mode yet. One person shared it, and they were not sponsored labels. So you have to have a sponsor. People are like, going to these Google Marketing Live things in person, like the press are just, they're probably watching complete buffoons. They don't understand any of this stuff. They just report, they report on their big media. They don't know. And they're like, oh, so those are the ads? They're like, no, the ads have sponsor labels on them. If you don't see sponsor, they're not ads.
But Barry, in that example from AI mode, there's an example Barry's got of AI ads in AI mode on mobile. There is one ad that's sponsored there, right? Everything else is non-sponsored.
The ones on the right, yeah, that one thing on the right is sponsored. The
only
rest
one
by Wix, yes.
What, Wix?
Yes, Wix is sponsoring it. It has to have a sponsor label.
But I think this is going to be catastrophic for what we just heard Sundar talking about last week of the revenue per query they're making. These are so low, these ads. We need it to be like the normal search engine results where the ads are at the top.
Well, can I say, I guess we'll find out if AI overs actually get any clicks because you'll see your ad data.
You're not going to see your ad data.
No.
There's no ad data on this?
No.
I didn't realize. What?
You can't? It's funny because I was sitting in a room with one of the top execs in Google Ads, and he's like, we love control and transparency, and this is what this is giving to you. And I'm like, question. So they call on me. I'm like, you literally just said control and transparency. Why can't advertisers control if they want to have ads show up in AI mode and AI overviews? And why can't you be transparent and show them if they're getting clicks from those?
So they're clearly not getting clicks. That's your answer right there. So
the clicks are going to be abysmal.
Let Barry finish. So what else did they say?
On that specific, they said because it's part of search. It's kind of like the same organic pitch, but I do believe one day they will give it. They didn't say they would, but I do believe one day this has happened before where they release features and add slots and they don't show you it until you complain and then get controls later on and so forth. So maybe I'm wrong, but I think it will come. They didn't say that. So
okay, so there's no way to see if a click came from an AI overview or AI mode in it via.
Am I wrong about that? You right?
No, you can't. I mean, there's none right now, so it's.
I mean, I specifically asked. I'm like, and they were like touting control and transparency. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Also, is that really an ad? Like in Barry's example, I know it's an ad. That's what I meant to say. Is that really like in the AI overview? It's at the way bottom of the thing. It's not like in the middle of the text. There's
looks like it's after number 2. So there's number 1 is define your website's purchase and scope. It looks like number 3 is secure domain. So it is mixed into the text.
It's mixed in, yeah.
I'm gonna look at
So I do like that it's above all the other organic listings. I think most SEOs are going to hate that.
Nobody's going to click on the organic stuff anyway. It was like literally, I'm taking my head and smacking against the wall the whole entire time with Google Press of Google PR team. So that's cool, right? So what else we got to know?
So yeah, I think another one that I was really interested in is like two specific like updates that they share. Google supercharged ads and analytics with AI powered agentic tools, and the marketing advisor, which is your AI sidekick. And it just shows that there's a push for, you know, AI being your no longer your assistant, but being the data expert, being the one that actually taking control. So yeah, whether advertisers are going to want to be using something that's really pretty much then they can then go out and make the decisions of how to actually, what campaigns to even set up, what ad copies to actually put live. Yeah, I'm a bit nervous about that one as well. I wondering how advertisers are going to respond to that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I think some of that's cool where you could see it make creatives for you. It expand on some images. They were talking about the wizard rods in the sphere and using AI to make better sizing and things for you. I think that's cool. Like where it got down to like, hey, you have your Google Ads expert. And they brought up Wix and they're like, oh, your site's on Wix and we don't have the Google tag. Do you want me to run through and how to install that? That's the thing that is like, you have been doing recommendations in Google Ads accounts forever. And they are all 90% of them are bad and will make you spend worse.
Yep.
Like I don't want an AI version of these recommendations. It's just telling me all this stuff where I have this past history of knowing if I implement these recommendations and I enable search partners, my performance is going to go down. Okay, another one. I thought that this was announced before, but maybe it was just a leak before. Smart bidding exploration. They touted it as the biggest update to bidding in over a decade. I've had beta access to this. It does not work well at the moment. I'm confident it will work well down the line. I thought this was like old news. But basically, if you have like a sale or you're trying to spend more money, they're calling it like the traffic diversity that you can increase. Basically, all you're doing is you're giving flexibility to your ROAS. So if you're saying, hey, I'm willing to get $2 back, and you say, I'm so jealous.
Oh,
so
God.
If you say I'm willing to get $2 back, like my ROAS is 200, and you want to move your ROAS tolerance down 10%, you'll be able to say I'm going to spend more, and I might bring things in at 180 because I moved it down 10%, if that makes sense. I tried it, not great results, but it's for like very specific things. Say you're like end of month and your last week, you're trying to go through a little bit more budget. This could be something that could help you.
Do we mention?
Oh, yes, please. Oh, that was just the highlight of my little life there. RIP in peace to the power pair. If you recall from last year, that was Broadmatch and PMax. And now Sylvanus announced the Power Pack. The Power Pack. And so the Power Pack.
I already got all the stickers. Sorry.
It adds Broadmatch got kicked out of the Power Pair, and it's now AI Max for search campaigns and demand gen. So PMax, AI Max, and demand gen. It doesn't really mean anything. We heard Power Pair last year. I never heard it again after Google Marketing Live. Never. But
I will tell you that him getting on stage was the highlight of my trip. That was about it.
Oh, it was so great. And honestly, he leaned into it. He made it like a funny thing. PPC Kirk was talking about on Twitter. He did a absolutely great job. I was just unbelievable. So a lot of speakers were very robotic, man. Sylvanus has it. He's got it, whatever it is.
I will say it is so scripted. I was looking behind me. There's like literally every word is like, it's scripted. I don't know. I guess it's every single word. I was watching them as they're talking. I'm like looking like, watch it. Every single word. They didn't miss a word that was like reading off the teleprompters.
Like teleprompter. Nice.
But anything else to say on this, or should we move on?
Really quickly, with the agentic experiences, there's also incrementality testing that now you can do with this limit of only $5,000. One of the agentic experiences, like, hey, why don't we take this product? Why don't we discount it? And why don't we see which one sells better? And it's like, hey, I don't want Google Ads discounting my products for me. No, thank you. And then shocking that the discounted product did better than the other product. One other thing I think that is really cool that is search related is the video brand lift. So if you're running YouTube ads, I think it's a 7-day look back period. at the moment, but they're going to make it flexible up to 30 days, like 1 through 30 days, is if you're running YouTube ads and you're running branded search ads, you're going to be able to see the lift that was generated from all your YouTube ads into your branded search ads, which is cool.
One more thing on this whole press people, not the Google people, the press people. One person's like, the Googles are like, we're talking about, we have to make sure, revenue is good and that the conversions work. And they were using like the word performance and stuff like that. And that, there's clicks and so forth. And like press is like, what do you mean performance? The guy's like, what do you mean? If the advertisers see the ads are actually performing, it could be a conversion, it could be whatever the action the advertiser wants, there has to be an ROI on that action. The person's like, okay, fine. Anyway, it's like, then I thought I throw them a softball. I'm like, this is going to be an easy one for you, Google. This is simple. You got to know this. Why do you put the AI mode tab all the way on the left before the all tab, whereas like all is the default? It shows you do a search in Google, the all tab is default. Why are you putting AI mode on the left consistently across all things? And other ones, all the other tabs are dynamic based on the query. And you're like, all right, so AI mode, I'm like, it's a softball. Like, and I'm like, I even led into it. I'm like, remember Liz Reed? She said at the IO keynote that's the future of search.
Future of search.
I'm like, all right, now give me the answer. Tell me AI mode tab is on the left-hand side because it's the future of search. No,
they didn't say that. That's like
they didn't know. I asked 3 Google reps, PR people, 2 Google executives that they put in the room with us. No clue. It's a search team thing, not an ad team. I'm like, oh God, okay, fine. So I finally emailed Google's search team and waited for them to get back to me. And they got back to me. And I'm like, you'll give me the answer because it's the future. And they didn't say that. They said, and I'll quote, we've heard from our users that they want a predictable place to access AI-powered responses, which is why the tab is consistent location on the page. Other modes in search are ranked dynamically and change position depending on query. If that's the answer, then AI mode should only show up for longer phrase queries and not show up for shorter phrase queries and be hidden, in my opinion.
The answer is, I mean, for me, it feels obvious. If someone's worked on product before, is that it's a separate product that got integrated into, and it's not integrated, but bad word. It's a separate product that got added to the current product and not fully integrated, so it's separate. That's why it's like that.
So are videos and news. They're all separate products.
Right, but they don't want to say that, so that's why they're giving you a weird answer. That's just my opinion as someone who's like,
it was a softball. They just say, we think this is the future of search, and this is why we're sticking it there.
That's kind of my point. The fact that it was a softball and they couldn't have an answer is because they have a bad answer. The truth is a bad answer.
Anyway. And then Mordy, I know you want to talk about AI again, since this whole thing is AI.
I don't like. By the way, I'm confused by that screenshot by Brody. It's at the end. It's all the way at the end. No,
there's. Oh, you're talking about Brody. We're talking about the mobile.
Yeah,
AI.
No, but it's within. It's within. If you look at my screenshot versus Brody's,
it's just like the line. It's the only difference. Anyway,
that's a separate.
Fine. Google has. I'm gonna call them. You can call them new. I don't know. 2 new help docs and a blog post about AI. One is titled "Google Search Guidance on Using Generative AI Content on Your Website," and that's basically like, oh, if you're gonna produce AI content, here's how you do it so it's not basically spam. It's nothing new. It's saying like, don't use spam policies. And the only thing they kind of add on later, which feels like a plug, is saying, oh, yeah, you want to give context. So tell us that it's created with AI by maybe using image metadata.
Which section is that in?
Give users context. I'm not saying nothing's new. It's all new posts. I think they're not saying anything particularly new in the post. It's the same kind of guidance.
It's a requirement from Merchant Center to label them. I guess if you want, yeah. One thing that is kind of new is like the whole rant we had yesterday about Search Console not showing AI mode data potentially. And in there, while the Google Search Console Performance Report help documentation mentions nothing about AI mode, in this new document, it does mention, just like the rest of search page result pages, states appearing in AI features such as AI overs and AI mode are included in overall search traffic in Search Console. I don't get that.
That's very strange.
It's a separate tab. If it's a separate tab, it should be a separate thing. AI mode is a separate tab. Whatever. It's an old thing.
Same tab in Search Console, though. the alt tab.
Yeah, it's a separate tab in search, but yet it doesn't make any sense to me. I'm sorry.
None of it makes any sense.
And to be honest, again, another PR thing. I asked John Mueller 3 times. Multiple people asked John Mueller on Blue Sky because that's the only place he responds. No response on this topic. Like, are AI mode searches in Google Search Console performance reports? No response from John Mueller. He wrote the blog post, right? No response on Blue Sky. I emailed Google Press, no response. So what is this wording here? I don't think. Why wouldn't they just respond saying, no, yeah, it's worded, it's in the document. Yes, we're
I don't know. Maybe because. Sorry, I thought you were. Lily Ray showed a post where they're looking for a new comms person, so maybe that's
yeah.
Why they haven't gotten back.
Barry, you had a lot
there's another
questions.
These last there's 2 more posts. Well, one more documentation and a blog post. Yeah. There's AI features and your website. It goes through how AI overviews, what they are and how they work and what in AI mode. It feels like more of an explainer.
Yeah.
Of what these things are, and then like there's SEO best practice. It's just like the standard usual stuff. By the way, this is comms things we're talking about. I find the whole thing confusing because you're talking about AI over and AI mode, and I don't like what's the difference.
Is it
outside of right? So it's just weird that they keep bunching these things together because it just feels to me confusing. As I know, because I'm in like, but if I'm reading this, I don't know anything about this. It just feels confusing.
Yeah, and I jumped the gun. Yeah, that's where it said lumps AI overviews and AI mode in Search Console performance reports, where it makes no mention the performance report help documentation about this stuff. And John won't respond, and PR won't respond. Wow. Yes, I had a lot of fun talking about being the PR person that actually understood search. Nobody understands this stuff. It's ridiculous.
It's. Can I say? Can I time to my last. Oh, fine. I won't say it. The blog post, which was written on May 21st, 2025. It says top ways to ensure your content performs well in Google's AI experiences on search. I'm not going to get into it. It's a promotional. It feels like it's just a promotional piece, and that kind of ties into like what you're saying. They're talking about like manage visibility. No, I'm sorry. Go beyond text for multimodal success. Optimize for. Can we just stop marketing for 5 seconds?
No, never. All gas, no brakes, Mordy.
Yeah.
But it just back.
Power back.
But great job, Barry. You're the hero we need.
Barry is a hero. Barry is a hero. Honestly, I watched the marketing live, the 15-minute version of it after I read Anu's article. That 15-minute, I didn't watch the whole thing. I didn't have time to watch the whole 2-hour thing yet.
Yeah.
That is the worst. I didn't learn I didn't understand anything from it.
Yeah.
I will say this community is great because the real journalists, like New York Times is sitting there. There's like a lot of big media there. And they came over to me later and they're like, they were impressed that we knew our stuff as like the industry. So it's good. Like they know nothing, and it's upsetting. So, but they have to cover everything. So I don't blame them.
Yeah.
I don't blame them.
Career
transition. No, tell us how you start blaming. Get angry again because this is like I feel there's so much here.
I love no sleep, Barry.
You saw my tweet about I was sitting in the press room at I/O. It was a massive like press tent, and I'm like looking around. I'm like, oh, these guys are gonna. What percentage of these guys are gonna be out of job in a few years? Because of AI and everything Google's announcing. They're sitting here and Google is literally showing them their end of their careers. That's what I'm thinking.
That's dark.
That's what I'm saying.
He's like, why are you smiling so much? No reason.
I'm like, it was like, oh my God. And they're just sitting there and they're all happy. And Google's like, I'm like, they're telling you your job's over. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, back on Monday with more. It's new. And make sure to check out the PPC Live channel, the Marketing O'Clock channel, and the Unify brand marketing channels.
Something.
Yeah, whatever.
Because channels are the only way to, until VR.
Yeah.
You saw
my
subscribe,
resubscribe for all Barry's hard-hitting journalistic.
Yeah, so all the 100,000 that subscribe to Barry's, subscribe to PPC Live.
Stop unsubscribing.
And everything.
Hit
Bye.
that bell.
Have a great weekend. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.